Something is happening inside your brain right now that you have no control over. A countdown. Every hour you stay awake, it gets louder. Miss enough of it and your organs start shutting down. Your mind starts inventing things that aren't there. And eventually, without a single wound, without a single disease, you die. From nothing. From the absence of one thing your body refuses to negotiate on. Sleep. Now here's what nobody tells you. Some animals don't have that countdown. And when scientists try to understand why, what they found was deeply, genuinely disturbing. Let's start with something that should be impossible. Bullfrogs don't sleep. Not in any way scientists can measure. Poke one at 3 a.m. Full reaction. Poke one at noon. Same reaction. No slowdown. No grogginess. No vulnerability window. For years researchers assumed they were missing something. They weren't. The bullfrog simply doesn't have an observable sleep state. It functions, hunts, survives, indefinitely awake. And the most unsettling part? Scientists still don't fully know how. That should bother you. Because everything we know about biology says that's not supposed to be possible. Sleep isn't laziness. It's not just rest. Inside your brain right now there's an entire waste removal system called the glymphatic system. It only fully activates during sleep. While you're unconscious, your brain is essentially flushing itself, clearing out the toxic byproducts that built up while you were thinking, moving, existing. Skip that process long enough and the waste accumulates. And then things start to go wrong. Very wrong. Here's what wrong actually looks like. Scientists took rats and prevented them from sleeping. Not forever. Just long enough. Within days the rats started deteriorating. Fur falling out. Body temperature dropping. Sores appearing. Immune systems collapsing. And then they died. Not from starvation. Not from any specific organ giving out. They died from something that looked like the body simply forgetting how to maintain itself. Like a building where every maintenance crew stopped showing up simultaneously. Everything falling apart at once, from the inside. In humans it moves faster. 11 days. That's roughly the limit. After 11 days without sleep a human being will hallucinate. Organs will begin to fail. And then comes something worse. There's a real genetic condition called fatal familial insomnia. People who carry it progressively lose the ability to sleep. First naps disappear. Then nights. Then any rest at all. Within months they're gone. Not from a tumor. Not from a virus. From the simple, quiet absence of sleep. Their bodies needed something and couldn't get it and eventually just stopped. So how are bullfrogs fine? That's the question that keeps scientists up at night. Ironically, the leading theory is that bullfrog metabolism is different enough that the maintenance sleep provides in mammals happens through other biological pathways. The factory doesn't need to shut down because it runs differently. But that doesn't explain what happens next. Because bullfrogs aren't even the strangest part of this story. Dolphins are. Dolphins solve sleep in a way that genuinely sounds like science fiction. They sleep with half their brain at a time. One hemisphere goes offline. The other stays active, keeps them swimming, keeps them breathing, keeps one eye literally open. Then they switch. The resting half wakes up. The active half rests. Back and forth, indefinitely. Dolphins are never fully unconscious. Not once in their entire lives. They exist in a permanent half-awake, half-asleep state, and they function completely normally inside it. Think about what that means. There is an animal on Earth that has never once been fully unconscious, never fully vulnerable, never fully gone, and it just swims around, completely unbothered, running on a system so elegant that billions of years of mammal evolution never managed to replicate it in anything that walks on land. Then there are the birds. The Alpine swift, a small, unremarkable-looking bird, was tracked staying airborne for 10 consecutive months. Not landing. Not stopping. 10 months. Scientists assumed microsleeps. Tiny fractions of unconsciousness too brief to catch. So they attached brain monitors to birds in flight and actually looked. And yes, birds can sleep while flying. One hemisphere, sometimes both, briefly offline. Bird on autopilot. Flapping. Navigating. Technically asleep. Technically flying. At the same time. At this point you might be wondering what sleep actually is. That's exactly the right question. Because scientists are still arguing about it. Memory consolidation. Waste removal. Immune maintenance. Emotional regulation. Hormonal reset. Sleep appears to be doing all of these things simultaneously. Which means it isn't one process. It's more like a scheduled shutdown where every department in the building runs maintenance at exactly the same time. And most animals, including every human who has ever lived, cannot run that maintenance any other way. Dolphins found a workaround. Birds found a workaround. Bullfrogs might have a completely different system altogether. But humans? Nothing. No workaround. No half-brain trick. No autopilot. The countdown runs whether you want it to or not, and the body does not accept negotiations. Here's the part that stays with you. Sleep feels passive. It feels like nothing. You close your eyes and hours disappear and you wake up and continue. But what's actually happening is one of the most complex biological processes your body runs. And your body trusts you to show up for it every single night. Miss it enough times and it starts sending warnings. Miss it longer and it stops warning you and starts failing you. Not dramatically, quietly, from the inside out. The animals that seem to have escaped sleep didn't beat the system. They built different systems. Systems we don't have. Systems we might never have. And maybe that's the most unsettling thing about all of this. Not that sleep can kill you, but that something as simple as closing your eyes is something your brain has been desperately, non-negotiably depending on your entire life. And you never even noticed. Until now. But what's actually happening is one of the most complex biological processes your body runs. And your body trusts you to show up for it every single night. Miss it enough times and it starts sending warnings. Miss it longer and it stops warning you and starts failing you. Not dramatically, quietly, from the inside out. The animals that seem to have escaped sleep didn't beat the system. They built different systems. Systems we don't have. Systems we might never have. And maybe that's the most unsettling thing about all of this. Not that sleep can kill you, but that something as simple as closing your eyes is something your brain has been desperately, non-negotiably depending on your entire life. And you never even noticed. Until now.